Yeah, she be riding to the end of the road while I'm just writing these poems. You feel it all in your soul. I'm about to kick down the door. You heard me knocking, always stick to the code. Walk what I'm talking, now they feeling me flow. So feel me, she be riding to the end of the road while I'm just writing these poems. You feel it all in your soul. I'm about to kick down the door. You heard me knocking, always stick to the code. Walk what I'm talking, now they feeling my flow. So feel me, flow. Keep it original, what's a stereotypical? Flipping it like reciprocal. Better turn up the decibels. Treacherous like the naughty. By nature, to beat our body. I'm kicking it like karate. I'm kicking it with your shotty. That OPP, then proceed right to the lobby. Think you seen Carl T on the scene? I mean, probably. But you ain't visualizing the truth. In actuality, display proof when I get loose and make a masterpiece. No limit, I'm trying to hustle like Master P. Gon' stack it up gradually, hold it down like gravity. Run it just like an athlete. I see the changes happening. I know that they gon' feel me flow. That's why they after me. She be riding to the end of the road while I'm just writing these poems. You feel it all in your soul. I'm about to kick down the door. You heard me knocking, always stick to the code. Walk what I'm talking, now they feeling me flow. So feel me, she be riding to the end of the road while I'm just writing these poems. You feel it all in your soul. I'm about to kick down the door. You heard me knocking, always stick to the code. Walk what I'm talking, now they feeling my flow. So feel me, wasn't feeling me before, I bet they feeling me now. I feel the pressure coming down, but that's to stick to my style. It's only getting better. I'm just putting it together like puzzles. I gotta figure it out. Been a while, but I get it only way I know how. I'm just saying how I'm living, check the check out here. It's frustrating, but I got the nerve to be out here and complaining. Got to hustle, get it by any means and maintain it. We rearranging the game and keep playing. Got the jokers in my hand, so I laugh when they throw bases. You ain't adjacent, that's why that you'll never make it complacent. Best bet is mine for the taking. It's most hated. She be riding to the end of the road while I'm just writing these poems. You feel it all in your soul. I'm about to kick down the door. You heard me knocking, always stick to the code. Walk what I'm talking, now they feeling me flow. So feel me, she be riding to the end of the road while I'm just writing these poems. You feel it all in your soul. I'm about to kick down the door. You heard me knocking, always stick to the code. Walk what I'm talking, now they feeling my flow. So feel me, flow.
Hello, Discover Card here to explain our cashback match. We match all of
She be riding to the end of the road while I'm just writing these poems. You feel it all in your soul. I'm about to kick down the door. You heard me knocking, always stick to the code. Walk what I'm talking, now they feeling me flow. So feel me, she be riding to the end of the road while I'm just writing these poems. You feel it all in your soul. I'm about to kick down the door. You heard me knocking, always stick to the code. Walk what I'm talking, now they feeling my flow. So feel me, flow. Keep it original, what's a stereotypical? Flipping it like reciprocal. Better turn up the decibels. Treacherous like the naughty. By nature, to beat our body. I'm kicking it like karate, I'm kicking it with your shotty. That OPP, then proceed right to the lobby. Think you seen Carl T on the scene? I mean, probably. But you ain't visualizing the truth. In actuality, display proof when I get loose and make a masterpiece. No limit, I'm trying to hustle like Master P. Gon' stack it up gradually, hold it down like gravity. Run it just like an athlete. I see the changes happening. I know that they gon' feel me flow. That's why they after me. She be riding to the end of the road while I'm just writing these poems. You feel it all in your soul. I'm about to kick down the door. You heard me knocking, always stick to the code. Walk what I'm talking, now they feeling me flow. So feel me, she be riding to the end of the road while I'm just writing these poems. You feel it all in your soul. I'm about to kick down the door. You heard me knocking, always stick to the code. Walk what I'm talking, now they feeling my flow. So feel me, wasn't feeling me before, I bet they feeling me now. I feel the pressure coming down, but that's to stick to my style. It's only getting better. I'm just putting it together like puzzles. I gotta figure it out.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
What up?
Oh yeah.
What up?
CTE Talks,
What
we
up?
back. We back.
What up?
I'm sorry, that's Vita, this Deuce. What's good, y'all? How y'all
What's
doing?
good
Man?
is?
How
What's
y'all
good?
doing?
Man, ain't much. Over here, kind of low key laughing. Hey, Kenny Lofton is baby Zebo, bro.
I seen that post. I seen you post that, and
Kenny
I watched
Lofton is baby Zebo, bro. Go
Bully.
back and rewatch it and just go look, and you're like, hey, this is baby Zebo, bro.
Bully
This is
check.
baby Zebo.
Bully
Bully check, bro. He's coming for that, bro. He's coming for that. He's low key like one of my favorite players. Like that's what's up. Like I'm glad for him.
I like
I'm
his
glad
energy.
for him.
I like his energy.
Yeah, I mess with him. I mess with him.
What's up with
I
y'all?
mess with him.
How was y'all week? How was y'all week? How week been?
Good, man. Me and Deuce been locked in for Denver. Y'all know Deuce got his rugby stuff in Denver, so we locked in for Denver. Me and him been spamming up what I've been spamming to him food TikToks for Denver. You know what I'm saying? Just like we did for Vegas. He said he got a Mexican. Yeah, he said he got a Mexican spot that he went to with Kofi out there. He wants to double back on. It's like I bet. He told me go Hot Springs, but he said that's just like a big jacuzzi, right? So he said, but it's not.
I got this thing about pool water, bro.
Yeah.
I got this thing about pool
so
water.
Again,
I'm worried about it.
But then Deuce told me Hot Springs in the summer probably ain't the thing. I'm like, yeah, you right. So I'm not gonna go out my way to get one. But I also told him I got into a little issue because that Sunday we're supposed to be coming back from Denver. Kung Fu Kenny got a concert here. And so so I told man. So I was like, hey Deuce, I told you I was leaving Sunday morning. I might really leave Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying? Like I might really wake up at like 5 a.m, 6 a.m, and drive back so I can make the concert.
Oh, y'all driving?
So yeah.
What's that like a 10-hour drive?
For me, it says 8 hours and 40 minutes from my house to the hotel.
Damn, you gonna be able to make it back for the concert?
Yeah, if I leave like 5, 6 in the morning, and this is an 8 o'clock concert at night.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not even gonna lie. Like I'm not even pressed to be at the door early. Like as long as I could get in when Kendrick go up, I'm gonna be all right.
He coming here to Utah too, surprisingly.
Oh dang! I'm actually look around see if there's some other dates because my wife want to go to a Bad Bunny concert. It's surprising to me. I thought Bad Bunny was a girl the whole time.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Yeah. So I've been low key listening to Bad Bunny on the random. So I put my Apple Music on random, and he been coming on, and I've been rocking to it in the gym. I'm like, okay,
that's
I don't know what bro is
bro.
saying, but okay.
Hey, he said, I ain't listening to. I ain't just not nothing guessing. I just like, I've just moved on him. Like I just like, all right. So she said she wants to go down.
Big wrestling fan too.
A big wrestling fan?
Oh yeah. He was
at the Royal Rumble.
He had a couple matches, and bro, he like Rey Mysterio, bro.
Yeah, I heard that, man.
Legit, he like Rey Mysterio.
I was like, dang, this dude's really taking over the game like this. So they got like 2 shows, one in September and one somewhere else that's like Houston and Chicago that my wife was kind of interested in going in. But I was like, man, Kung Fu Kenny's literally up the street from us, man. I was like, I gotta go make a way to see it.
You gotta go.
Yeah. So I'm gonna see if I'm able to finesse that. I'm gonna see if I'm able to, man.
Yeah, shoot. If I hit Denver, I'm coming out there with Serena.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's gonna be good.
Our anniversary is the very next week, so we just gonna make it. We just gonna make it a trip. Come back. Anniversary. It's gonna be lit.
We actually. My brother. I was on the phone with my brother today. He called me when said man was traded to said team and started to talk some stuff. So he was like, hey, bro. Yeah, so I was like, oh, where you at? He was like, yeah, I'm in Miami. Because I know he just left Atlanta. I thought he was still in Atlanta. He was like, nah, bro, I'm in Miami right now. So I was like, hey, so I was like, well, how'd you book in Miami? Where'd you book? He just started giving me his information. And I was like, because I had told my wife I was thinking about going to Miami for our anniversary for the weekend. And he was like, nah, bro. He said, if you want to come to Miami, I'll get your hotel for you as a gift for you. I was like, oh, I bet. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Miami for our anniversary then. So yeah. But he's low key. He's been to like 3 or 4 Heat games at the Heat Stadium, and he was like he loves the energy at the stadium. So he was like anytime he's over there, he's trying to go to a different stadium. So I go to a Heat Stadium, but he don't want me to wear. He was like, nah, bro, you can't wear the Hornets when you go to. He's like, you can't. He don't want me to wear my team anywhere. He don't want me to wear my team anywhere. He wants me to blend in because he don't want problems. He's like, nah, bro, you gonna be hyped. We gonna be hyped. We gonna have to fight somebody. I'm like, nah, bro, ain't nobody like that. He's like, nah, bro, they shot people. You know what I'm saying?
This is what dudes. No, we like that.
Yeah,
we like that.
All right, man. Let's kick it off. We got some trivia for y'all. We're bringing it back with trivia. I know they say this or that. Ignore that. This or that, as in this or that trivia. We're gonna go with the trivia.
Exactly. Kento trivia.
It's
Kento
gonna be real
trivia.
time. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get some answers real time too,
Yep.
to let you know
Oh
how
my God,
good
it's
that
close
we
here.
feel when we're in the chat.
Yep. All right. So for the first one, question one: when were Funyuns made? Just the year. What year were Funyuns made?
Funyuns?
1969, 1968, 1970, or 1971?
68, bro. 68.
71, dog. I think they a late
68.
bloomer. They some late
1968.
bloomers, bro. 1971.
Nah. 69. They were born. They were
Ah!
Right in the middle.
created in 69.
Oh, wow. That's booty.
69.
Right in the middle.
In the middle.
Yeah, nah, that's why.
Which is crazy.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
So
That's
I knew
Birds.
that wasn't the 70s because it felt like a food that would blow up with the 70s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
sense.
like,
yeah,
man.
that's one of them
Hey,
high.
yo,
That's one of them
some
high
shrooms and
foods.
some onions, man. Good time.
While they're at
Hanging
what is it called?
down the street.
Man.
Oh, yeah, I was like,
And
how
then,
that?
all right, question two. What is the rarest color of M&Ms? Orange, green, brown, or yellow?
Brown. Brown.
Orange. It's orange, bro. Orange is such an awkward color.
Brown. Nobody want that doo-doo M&M.
Nah,
It's
man,
brown,
it gotta be
bro.
orange. Hey, I don't never see
It's
orange
brown.
M&Ms. I don't see orange M&Ms in the commercials. It gotta be
It
orange.
probably is orange, but I'm anti-brown, bro. They make me mad in the bag. So I want them to be the most one. Yeah, those are trash.
Oh yeah, it's brown.
Let's
Brown.
go!
Damn.
Let's go! Anti-brown,
That's
baby.
tough. Brown?
All M&Ms do
Brown.
not matter.
I feel like it's chocolate. Brown gotta be normal, right?
That's
Damn.
ugly.
Nah.
I don't eat
Let's
M&Ms,
go.
so I
Brown
can't
is
go black
trash.
either.
Brown is
question.
trash.
The third question: which country eats the most chocolate? America, Switzerland, England, France. America,
Switzerland.
Switzerland, or France.
Switzerland.
The Swiss. Gotta be.
Yeah,
Yeah?
it is. It is Swiss.
Yeah, and they got the
is
nasty
Swiss.
one too. Hey,
Nasty?
I'm out here hot. 2 for 3. And they be having
Swiss
them
Miss.
nasty dark chocolate and
Nah, it's
stuff.
like the Swiss Miss. The Swiss
Yeah.
Miss hot chocolate, boy.
Swiss hot chocolate. Yeah, boy, the Swiss. Well, yeah. Nah.
I would have thought it was America's fat ass.
Nah.
All right. Fourth question: what state doesn't observe daylight savings?
Arizona. You ain't even gonna say the options. I know which one it is.
Hawaii, or Arkansas, New York, or Montana?
Damn. I was wrong.
Montana. Why?
Damn, Arizona? I thought
Ain't
Arizona
nobody up
did-
there.
Not so. After I answer it, I'll speak on this.
Hawaii.
Montana.
Hawaii.
Montana. Nobody's up in Montana,
It's
bro.
Hawaii. Wait. You said Hawaii, Arkansas, Montana.
New York or
New
New York.
I'm gonna go Hawaii, bro. It's way out there.
Montana, bro.
They way out there. Don't nobody know.
It's
Don't nobody
Hawaii.
care what time. See, don't nobody care what time it is in Hawaii.
It's Hawaii. So there are 2 states actually that don't observe it. Yeah,
Who's the other
but
one?
I mean that's kind of. I want to say it might have been Arizona. I want to say it might have been. I don't remember. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I know for a fact that Hawaii was one. But I want to say there was 2 states, and like that just kind of threw me off. I was like, damn, that's weird. So I couldn't use both states, obviously, right?
Yeah.
That would have been a weird. That would have been a lot to type out. I'll just say that. What 2
Yeah, I ain't
states?
Montana.
Goddamn. All right. Final question.
Final question.
What is the loudest animal in the world? A harpy eagle, dolphin, sperm whale, or elephant?
Harpy Eagle.
Elephant.
That's how I look.
It's an elephant. Elephants is loud. You can hear them things.
Harpy Eagle.
Wrong. Both of you.
He said what?
He said
Superman
Superman
whale.
whale.
Superman whale.
Yeah, it's the sperm whale
Boo!
because
Sperm-
of the
Oh,
squeaks.
Tava
and,
got it
like,
right. Damn.
the squeaks and the pitches and all that
That's
stuff.
trash.
You know
That's
what I'm
A
saying?
trash.
So
whale?
loud. Mhm.
I feel like Finding Dory when she was trying to communicate with the whale.
Yeah.
Hey, Superman whale. Nah.
Oh man.
Nah.
All right, y'all. That was the beginning segment of this or that. Y'all took this question or that
Ni
question.
hao, Tabo. What up, Ni
Y'all
hao?
took this answer or that answer.
This answer. Ni hao der. What's up, Tava?
Ni hao.
Ni
Next
hao,
segment, y'all.
ni hao.
Next thing on the docket for today is what's happening. What happened in y'all
What's
week?
happening?
Tava, what happened in your
Yo.
week, bro? What happened that you
Yo, that
wanna
was
talk
something that
about?
did just happen. There was something that I just see that just happened. I'm trying to remember what it was, man. But too much started happening. Let me think. I just had it. I missed it. That's why I write stuff down.
Oh, I know one.
Yeah.
I know what's happening. Baker Mayfield's number one.
Oh,
I'm putting $5 on Baker's MVP
Hey.
odds, baby.
my
100K
condolences
run
to
up.
y'all.
He
Run
ride
it up.
with us, so I'm riding with him.
Not a
Slow
damn thing.
motion,
It's a slow
Tava.
motion
It's
over
slow
here.
motion.
Tough.
We a
Slow
bunch of
motion.
African American males and Baker.
Man.
He
And Baker.
ride with us, so we ride with him.
He rock with us. I with him.
Damn.
Oh God, bro! You a bunch of N-Mark. Hey, bro. Hey,
Hey, that's a
I'm
TikTok
dying,
video. That's a
bro.
TikTok video. That's a
That
TikTok.
is one, bro. That is one, bro. Speaking of the TikTok, man, I did the sound because I saw the dude who did it from the Oregon track team of the
Oh,
Chris
that
Tucker
was
one.
so funny,
Bro,
dog.
that's
Oh.
like
sent
the
that
most
to
perfect
the one I
TikTok
seen.
ever,
That
man.
joint's
Yeah.
so funny.
That's like the most perfect TikTok sound usage of a sound ever, man.
Hilarious.
So I asked the home, like the J10 and them, which was better? Because again, we know it's like that never-ending debate. But I was like, man, who really put up a better comedic performance than Chris Tucker in Rush Hours? Like who
in
really?
any movie, like movie wise?
I think collectively, when you look at a guy who went 2-3 movies having to be the comedic relief on it, like there's nobody who really
I don't know. Hey,
touched it.
Mike Epps and Fridays.
Mike Epps and Fridays is nice, but it's still Chris.
I feel
to me.
like
It's still Chris to me, bro.
No, I mean I'm
Mike-
saying that's
Mike,
that's
no,
arguable.
no.
You know what I mean? Like
It's
you can make a
arguable, it
case.
is.
You
I
can make a
think
case.
Mike Epps might be that next tier. Because Chris
Like-
Tucker, bro, from beginning to end, there was no break.
All of them.
There was
Hey,
no
look,
break.
this is what got me when I had to rewatch that. Was just like it was just Chris for like the first 20-25 minutes of the first Rush Hour.
You right.
You didn't see Jackie for a good minute, and he was literally holding you on until they got together. And then when they got together, it was just a takeoff. Like
It was
Chris
like
really,
on steroids.
he really took he held that mug down. So I'm really trying to ask myself when you look to the Bad Boys movies, I feel like
Martin Lawrence.
yeah,
Nah.
No, definitely
two
not hitting like that.
two is the one that hits, but that was more like Martin Lawrence handling that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Will
Like,
Smith
Will
played
did
like
his
the more
thing.
serious
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. And then which was good because it was a perfect compliment in roles, but it just wasn't as much. Like man, Day Day was cracking too.
Day
was
cracking.
man.
Day
was
was
funny,
body
too.
But Day
joint,
wasn't
bro.
in part one, and that's what
He
kind of
wasn't.
loses it for
He
me.
wasn't, and that's
I think that's the only
what-
thing. I think that's the only thing that holds it back. If he was
that's
in
the
all
only thing that
three,
holds him back.
then he
Yeah.
really got a case on the hands. But
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
Day man, that was definitely crazy. Like, I was really trying to sit here and think about because I know when we was building our movie bracket last time, I was just kind of looking at man, who is comedically on that end kind of leveled up to where it could make a tough bracket, and I was like, yo, it's kind of hard. But then I started to look and I was like, yo, Chris really separated himself to me with doing that. So it's just God, bro. I was shocked at that.
Damn,
So-
that's tough.
That was something I thought about.
What else is happening in
that's
the world? What else is happening? What's happening in y'all week
What's
since
happening?
last week? Hey man, I hit a whole
I-
lot of PRs in the gym this week. I know that's
Hey,
That's what's up.
that's what's up. That's
man.
what's up.
That's what's
Hit a
up.
PR on bench. Back on my squat stuff.
Hey,
I'm in love
That's
with
what's
I'm in
up.
love with the gym, y'all. I'm sorry. I love
That's
it.
what's up. That's what's up.
That's where it starts. Nah, so for
Man,
me,
hey, yeah.
I got all my legalese out the way on my gym, on my garage, all that stuff. So about to start really being able to put time and effort into it, going to get the equipment, the little things here and there for the garage to set it up nice, and then
What's
we about
up?
to be up. We about
Hey
to really
man,
start working again.
shameless plug. Pillars Fitness
Pillars Fitness.
coming soon. He about to be taking in clients virtually. If you across the United States, he's about to be taking clients. If
Yeah.
we need to, we'll have this man come on here, give us a full body tutorial how he looks, so that you know that it's real. His wife is buff as hell too. She's super fit, so it ain't faking. He ain't pump faking. If y'all need that work, y'all need some advice, the Pillars Fitness, check them out. It's coming soon.
Yeah. Did y'all check out the gym that I showed y'all that my wife went to in Vegas?
Yeah, that mug look too fancy for me, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
It looked like Pain. I told her it looked like the movie Painting Game, like with Mark
Yo.
Wahlberg and The Rock. I said that's what her gym remind. But she loved it, so she's already like, yeah. When we go back, I'll be at that gym again.
Did you say it was like
I was like,
$60 for a pass though?
yeah, for her to go for that week, it was like 60 something like
That's
that.
a pain in my chest. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I found my
it is,
gym.
but-
My gym is out there. There's one location, 2 locations out there. So I'm still gonna be hitting my gym out there when we go.
Yeah, I like my gym because again, mine's is downtown, which again is 5 minutes from the house, and then it's 5 minutes to work, and then 5 minutes to work to home. So I got this little 10-minute circle at biggest that I have to drive during my dailies. So like I got my downtown gym that I go to, private parking. There's a couple crackheads and homeless people that be laying in the pipeways. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. Yeah, nothing outside the normal. They just hey, let me slide on through. Yeah, let them slide on through. And that's the thing. Let me ask y'all: do y'all ever carry cash to give to those
No.
in need?
They don't need
I
it.
don't.
They want it.
He said they don't need it. They want it. What do you
What they
mean
need,
they want
what
it?
they, what they
They
need is a
bro.
job. That's what they need.
Hey, you need to elaborate on this for us, bro.
Bro, what? What?
Is that
What
a
are you
crown
talking
bottle?
about?
It is. It is.
What do you dudes? All right. So look, I don't carry cash,
Fuck
right?
that, bro. No,
I don't.
bro. I will shoe a bum so fast. They pull up on me. Hey, let me hold $1.
Hey,
Let me get one. I know you got some. You can ask all these people. I know they
never.
gave you some.
Let me hold
Put some money in
$1.
my gas tank. Put some money in my gas tank.
God, I can't do
Go buy
that.
me some
I
water.
can't do that.
Nah, bump that.
Well, nah. So like, I don't ever carry cash on me. So like, if I do carry cash, and
You give
somebody
it to
happens
them?
that, yeah, actually, yeah, I give it to them. So like
Nah,
one
couldn't be
time,
me.
I won't forget. It was like 11 at night. My wife was having a craving, so I like ran up to the gas station, got something. Didn't realize like I had like $20 in my pocket, and I was putting up my card and stuff while I was like walking out. And he was like, "Hey nephew, you got some change on you?" I was
Oh.
like, and initially I'm like, no, because I never carry cash. Like I just never carry cash. But I'd be like, if you catch me going in, I'd be like, hey bro, just come in, I'll grab you whatever you want to grab, and then roll out. Like, all right, bet. Man, I looked and I saw that and I was like, oh here. So I just gave him the 20, like, here, bro, take it. It's not a sign of nothing, like take it. Yeah, bro, I just gave it to him. Like,
Damn, you
I'll
said a
punch
20?
you. I should punch you.
yeah,
I
I was like,
punch
here. And so for me, my logic is because I don't carry cash, that if somebody catches me in the moment when I have cash, clearly God wanted me to give it to them because
They
I'm not
clearly
gonna
about
give
to
it.
catch the smooth. Hey,
So
best of luck,
that's my
nigga.
logic. That's my logic. If I have cash and somebody asks me for it, it's well, maybe the Lord wanted them to have it. Let me give it to them. So that's
Nope.
always been my logic. So I give them
Nah.
cash. But like there was one guy, like I won't forget, like there was one night dude was sitting outside of McDonald's and the line was packed and he was asking everybody just to buy him some food. Nobody was buying him no food. So I like took him inside. Like, hey, I was like, hey bro,
I'll
order
buy him
what you
some
want to
food.
order.
Yeah, I ain't gonna give
Yeah,
you
I was
no
like, hey
money.
bro.
I'll
Yeah, I was
do
like, hey
that.
bro, I was like, hey, come order what you
They
want
ain't
to
getting no
order.
bread up off me.
Plus, I'm
They
like,
can, I'll feed them.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I found
Because
myself.
I'm a
I have
generous
seasons.
person.
I have seasons of giving. Like Vita, if I got cash on me, and I'm feeling in the giving mood, and I'm like, yo, you got something for me? I'm like, yeah, bro, I got you. I got $2. Got $5 for you.
Got these hands for you. Keep playing with me.
Damn.
Yeah.
But I'll give you like,
Cool.
if I got food that we ain't,
Get out my
I'll
pockets,
give you
bro.
some food.
Get out my pockets, bro.
Get out my pockets, bro. You ain't did nothing to get in my pockets. Get out my pockets, dog. I can't do that. I
That
don't
that
know.
just
Like
became
I
that just
used to.
became foundational for me, man. For
I
me.
used to be like, all right, let me do that. But then, like, I really started thinking about. It. I was like, man, these bums is really just sitting out here at the same spot daily, same corner store daily, asking everybody to come in. Like, you're sitting out there for 8, 12 hours asking all these people for money when you
Yeah.
can go work and
Yeah,
get
yeah,
your
yeah.
own bread. Like
Yeah.
like I get it. Sometimes you fall on hard times. Cool. All good. Like I said, I'll go pay for food. I'll go get you some actual things.
You
But
need
as
some
far as getting
clothes. You need
actual
some
bread up off
toiletries. Yeah,
me, nah. I was like, bro, because that's taking money out my kids' mouths. That's taking food out my
Yeah.
kids' mouths
I can
now.
see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
I
So
stand behind
I'm
that.
not with it.
Deuce is
I
not
ain't
just
with that.
a cold dude, y'all. He
Nah,
he,
nah,
he
nah,
got
nah, nah.
reasons. He got reasons.
And
But
again, that's just on me. Like I say no comfortably because again, if I don't got
I
it, I
say
don't
no
got it. But
quick.
it's just if I know like I have cash and somebody asks me
I'm
again, I
putting
just take it
cash.
as oh
I'm
well,
putting cash
it
in
must have
my
been meant for
pocket.
them.
I'm counting my change as I'm walking out. You got some cash, big bro?
You wish
No, I
that
do
was you,
not.
huh? You wish that was you, huh?
You wish,
no.
yeah. I thought that was nice, huh? Yeah, nah, get out
Yeah,
of here,
you
dog.
Hey,
thought you
yo,
had it
nephew.
smooth,
When,
baby.
I don't
hey,
know you.
Yeah,
so when I was
that
at the
is
Savannah,
hilarious.
when I was at that Savannah rugby tournament, right? Some random dude, homeless cat came up on me, and like the homies is in the whip, and like they heard me start going great. I was like, yo, get away from me. I was like, before you even say anything, dog, move around. I ain't got
Heck
nothing
no.
for you. He was like,
Get
for
on
real,
up
big
out of
dog?
here.
Yes, but I don't got nothing for you. Move. And then
Heck,
he started looking at the guys in the car. They all was like, hey, he said what he said, dog. If he ain't got it for you, we ain't got it for you.
man.
That whole part. All right, y'all. That's what's happening this week. We ain't giving homeless people money. We giving you things that you need, necessities. You know what I'm saying? Necessities. But next segment we're
I
gonna
did
go
give a
into,
homeless
man.
dude an MRE one time.
A what?
A MRE, one of the military food packs.
Oh,
Oh wow.
ew.
God,
I'd have
bro.
thrown that shit
My
back at
boy,
you.
hey, I gave it to him. He was like, thanks. And then he looked at it, he was like, I was like, you got it.
He said, "You
You
got
got it, big
it."
dog. Enjoy.
Hey, bro, I'm dying laughing, bro.
As y'all know,
It's one of my favorites.
last week we took a break from cultural cuss words. We had an open table, like we're going to continue to do at the end of every month. We have an open table, open topics. But we're back on cultural cuss words this week. Before we get back into brackets, we won't get back into the brackets that y'all want us to do over the next few weeks. But today we got the N word. The N word. Vita, talk to us about
Hey,
it, man.
Tava, real quick, if you're still around, Tava, you could pick the next bracket. If you're still here, you can pick the next bracket, and we'll go with that. If somebody suggests a bracket today, we'll go with whatever bracket y'all say, so I don't have to, or any of us have to think about it. We could just get to putting it together, because that's the hardest
Put it
part
in
of
the
it
chat
all.
right now.
Yeah, put it in the chat. Let us know whatever message it to us. We need a bracket idea, whatever bracket you want to do, food, whatever. Let us know, because that's the hardest part is figuring out what you want to go with. This week, cultural cuss words. We went through accountability. We went through forgiveness. We went through
Neglect.
like safety. Boundaries. And the N word for this week is neglect. Neglect. Yeah, neglect. So we're gonna be talking about neglect and how this can be very dangerous, especially in certain areas for many people. Neglect from mental to physical to emotional. Neglect and how it's one starts with yourself and then can begin to affect others because of your area to neglect your diligence in taking care of these areas. So when y'all think about the word neglect, man, what's you know what, let's start personal as we try to maybe expound on this a little bit. What has been an area of your life that you feel you've neglected? Or maybe an area that you neglected that you then were like, hey, okay, I realized that was being, I neglected this area. I need to then begin to work on that.
Damn.
I say, for me, in this season of life, an area of neglect would be, in a sense, just treating myself like spending time just for me, for my own space. Like I've neglected myself and being able to go chase what I want to go do the things
Yeah.
that would help me focus in other areas for the sake of, oh man, I gotta do this, I gotta do that with like the family, job, all that good stuff. So it's like actually taking the opportunity to take the time for myself. And honestly, like up until last year, the whole TTE kickback was like or this year, I guess, was the whole that's what started it off, and like really being able to, all right, I'm trying to get into making sure that these things happen um for me, like for me, I need these moments in my life. Big thing with me and Kavika is like, hey, we're gonna at least get one Panthers game a year, and then we're always gonna spend the Super Bowl together from here on out. It's like those things we can set strategically throughout the year so that we get that refresher, momentarily
Yeah.
throughout the
Yeah.
year so that we're continuing to build with each other and just lock in.
Yeah.
I think I agree with that for myself too. I think I relate to that. I think one of the areas of neglect that I have right now that in this season of my life is patience, man, patience around the growth of my son. Right? There's certain things where I just lose my patience, and I acknowledge that, and I think that's something that I continue to have to challenge myself with is having the patience for understanding like bro is 5 years old, right? Like he's trying to learn his ways, trying to make his own mistakes, and like as that figure, to look at him and be like, no, that's wrong, don't do that, and having the patience to be like, you kind of just gotta experience that yourself, like you gotta run into that, and try not to be that brace to brace him for the impact of certain things, and then more so just letting him fall, right? Knowing when I can and cannot be a safety net. I think, but just going back to, I've been neglecting intentionally being patient with certain moments, and having the discipline to step back and be like, instead of reacting, having reactionary responses to certain things, stepping back and be like, all right, I kind of just gotta let this one ride. Like this is a moment where I gotta let it ride. I can't just turn around, snap at him, and be like, "Yo, that ain't it. Stop." Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is for me is patience in this season of him growing, going from 5.5 going into 6 years old next year. I think that for me is an area of neglect right now.
Yeah. So for me, mine is definitely along the lines of Deuce, neglecting myself, having a priority and leading your home, and loving your wife and loving your kids. A lot of the times, for many men, we tend to put our needs on the back burner. Not even just our needs, our wants. Like it's like, well, I want to do this, but I got to do something for my kids. Or I want to do this, so I got to do something for my kids. And so like one of the things that like I always joke with my wife about is like, I can look at my son and tell like my son doesn't have the love for sports like I had growing up. You know what I'm saying? Because again, my love for sports was just natural. That's not him. He likes to kick it. He likes to enjoy. He carries a lot of my traits, but he doesn't carry that one to that effect. But he loves to be around me. So the way he sees me at home is he sees me online playing with y'all the game, doing stuff. So he's began to pick up this habit. So when I play, he wants to sit beside me and play, and he wants to do that. So at the same time, he's able to share in something that I enjoy doing and also find that for himself. And that kind of trickled into the rest of my kids. It's becoming kind of like a family time thing for us where we're all kind of like, hey, they like to watch certain gaming videos. So I'll watch with them. We'll do stuff with them. We'll kind of have that moment together. But then there's also moments that I've learned that, I said the Cream City Kickback was the first time I had any time away just as me going to do something for me with my wife. Like we've always had to, like, even when I went to North Carolina, that was for an emergency for my grandma. And I was able to go to a game and do all these things because I was there. We was able to make that accessible. My brother was like, hey, let's go to a game. So like being able to do some of that stuff was like, okay, these moments I get to have for just me, it leads me to be refreshed when I come home and to have that. Like one of the things I've always seen was like, you kind of exhaust yourself into others. That people always use that term, you lost yourself or you lose yourself or you don't like you forget who you are along the journey. I think I believe the people who you are around are meant to be there to absolutely love you and support you on your journey of being your person. Whether that's seasonal or whether that's some people who are locked in for the entirety of the run, they should see the things you like, don't like, and where you're trying to go and just be there. So like you could, even Bible wise, they be like, all right, love your neighbor, love God, love your neighbor. But then like the text says, you have to love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if you can't take care of yourself and you can't, hold on to yourself, you will never be able to properly love nobody else because you will do two things in trying to love them. If you don't love yourself, you would either use them as a deflection of you trying to fill a gap for you, or you will be asking them to fill a gap for you instead of being secure in who you are and then being like, okay, out of me being secure, then I could use that as an expression just to truly love people genuinely, no matter who they are. Because that goes to like being like an affirmation, like seeking affirmation and pleasing people. Because if you're not like secure in who you are, you're gonna want to do something to get affirmation and acceptance from people to fill that void.
Right.
When that void has to be filled on your own first before you then try to express that to others.
I think that's something that I'm starting to notice for myself too. Now that we're on the topic, now that we're being super intentional about talking about neglect, is I think I've neglected feeding certain relationships that are beneficial to me, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And being intentional about feeding those relationships and feeding, I always look at it in a similar light of feeding your plants, right? You don't feed them, they're going to slowly grow, figure out how to grow on their own, or they're just going to die.
Yeah.
Right? But it's going to happen over time. So for me, just being more intentional about feeding some relationships that I value, but I don't necessarily know how to feed that the proper way. Right? So I think that's a moment for me to step back and be like, going back to all of the other cultural cuss words that we talked about, understanding the boundaries, understanding where that safe space is. And how to feed. I think that's one thing that I continually have a challenge with is I know what I need to do. I just don't necessarily know how to do it. So I just neglect the fact that I need to do it until it hits me in the face and says, you kind of should have did this. You didn't know that you didn't know. You didn't know what you didn't know, but now you know. And is it too late to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I understand. So when we look at neglect and things of the nature, one thing that I've learned, and it seems to become a theme for us as a whole as of lately, is physical neglect. Neglecting ourselves physically. I've made it clear before and I'll make it clear again. I only care to work out in regards to playing a sport. Like that was it.
Somebody's face.
Yeah. And so even when I physically was like in bad shape, I could always run through somebody's face. So it didn't matter to me. Like as long as I knew when I got on the football field or when I went to go hoop that I was still capable, no matter how I felt physically, like I was like that was okay. But then you start to realize the daily disciplines that it takes, like even the health effects afterwards. So like a lot of people around me, my sister-in-law, my little bro Zach, like they're starting to have health issues that are beyond their like control, right? But these are people who tend to be fairly healthy, far more healthier than me. And then you're kind of like, man, that could be me easily. I shouldn't neglect physical disciplines in my life to then assure like I'm being healthy. Like one thing, like checking family medical issues and seeing if there's like I didn't know that I had a sickle cell in my family. I didn't know that I had sickle cell in my family until Enoch. And the lady was like, "Oh, your son has chance of this," and my wife was like, "I don't have that in my family." So the first thing I do when I get out the thing is I call my mom. She was like, yeah, that runs in our family. And my wife was like, well, why wouldn't you tell me that? I was like, yo, I didn't know. And so then we learned that part. But again, Enoch doesn't have it, but it was just one of the things that we found out was that. So physical neglect and how we go about daily discipline. So for me, y'all know, I go, since the job changed, I go work out every morning now before work. So I go 5 in the morning. Not gonna lie, I usually work out for a good hour 15, easy. Anything more or less than that, I'm kind of strolling around. So instead, I just go downstairs to the store, might buy me a little bit of breakfast. Like, yeah, instead of going, but that's the good part for me because there's a store right under. I ain't got to go to McDonald's. Like, I go downstairs, grab me some fruit, grab me a little, like, you know what I'm saying, something else, a salad a half of the day. That part's helped me. So just on a physical level, how have you guys gone about making sure that you're being disciplined and not neglecting your physical side, like your physical attributes, however you want to call it, whatever?
I've actually still, even though I'm still playing rugby and like doing all that stuff, I've neglected my physical fitness a lot actually, and that's partially why I tore my ACL. Is because I wasn't doing everything I needed to in order to stay healthy and to playing these high impact sports of like making a lot of cuts, a lot of moves. Your body's getting put in a lot of different angles. In my mind, I was like, okay, I'm cool. I'm about to just. I stopped doing it, not necessarily intentionally, but I just let it fall by the wayside. Like agility workouts, the actual physical fitness
Health
of
is
like
wealth.
health is wealth. Health. My fitness is my functionality, right? And I got
Wow,
into
this is functionality.
like my fitness
I
is
like
my
that.
functionality. So when I was playing, I had this goal of just getting bigger and kind of heavier. But in me doing that, I lost my functionality of what my body, the demands I was putting on my body, and it was like, hey, it broke, it hit its limit. It was like, yep, nope, never mind, you good, sit down for a little bit,
Yeah,
focus back up, and now there's always an emphasis, and I got away from that. Like Vita knows, like, hey, I work out for functionality. I don't work out to necessarily be a power lifter. Even though I can throw weight around, I don't work out to be a bodybuilder and compete and stuff like that. Even though I have the genetics to be able to do that really and compete really well, my fitness is my functionality. Like I want to be able to move. Like I want my movements to be strong. I want my
yeah,
body to have flexibility, to have stability, endurance. And I don't just want it to look good. I want it to be good.
Yeah.
So that's
gotcha.
something that I've messed up for me specifically is just not being able to uh be diligently, still in the gym, but still doing my fitness workouts, like running, cardio, doing my agility training and stuff like that, doing my stability training, all that stuff. Uh,
We get one body in this life,
yeah,
gotta cherish it. That's facts.
exactly,
As far as
exactly.
for
That
me,
is.
man, it's
That
it's
is.
it's been a journey, man. Like for real. Like I went from the heaviest I've ever been to now where I'm at right now. I think I'm at the best place mentally that I've ever been when it comes to taking care of my physical like well being. Fell in love with the gym, man. I'm when I say I fell in love with the gym, bro, like I gotta do it. As much as I loved hooping
Yeah.
before, I could hoop for hours and hours and hours. Now
You gotta have that weight.
I've pretty much adjusted that mindset and that love for hooping all the time to just being in the gym. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm striving for, right? Like
Yeah.
I know I love seeing myself get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger,
Yeah.
right? Especially hitting milestones that I've never hit before. Even in college, I ran away from the weight room in college. I did just enough to be able to carry me through being on the field, doing what I need to do in high school, doing what I need to do in JC. I did just enough, and obviously messed up my knee because of that. But now I think the place that I'm in understanding and seeing my surroundings, whether it be gout, whether it be diabetes, whether it be high blood pressure, whether it be heart disease, things like that that run in my family. I look at it now, and I'm in the gym, and I know I'm combating that. Right, one of the biggest things that made me fall in love with the gym even more was when I got COVID in November, and I had to be in the hospital for 4 or 5 days. The doctor kept coming in and saying, if you wasn't working out as hard as you was working out, you probably would have died just from your respiratory issues. I was just like, damn, bro. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
If that wasn't the stamp of keep that ass in the gym that I needed, I don't know what is. But just being super intentional. Like before, I want to say a year ago, I would look for any excuse not to go to the gym. Oh, big runs, bet I'm on. I'm gonna skip gym today. I'll go tomorrow. Now it's there is no compromise. I don't care what's going on.
No compromise.
I'll see y'all when I get back from the gym.
I still want to get back.
Hey, I ain't never mad at that. Like whenever I see you do say that, I'm like, I ain't say, hey, go have a good workout, dude.
No, go do that. And that's for me. That's why, like,
same thing with Vita. Like every morning he calls me. Basically, when he gets out the gym, he's like, yeah, I'm about to get out the gym. You know, just had this, had that, and I'm like, all right, bet.
I've always been the best at
everywhere. Yeah, no, that's
right. Liar. He never beat me. He beat me one time. No.
No, that's facts. Like Deuce knows, I get up 5 a.m. Well, 4:30, get to the gym right when it opens at 5, and then as I'm leaving, usually that time between me leaving the gym and actually clocking in, me and Deuce will tap in with each other. Hey, what you got planned? What's going on? That's why I was like super happy. I told Deuce I was having a rough day at work, but at the same time, it was like a breakthrough for Deuce because like he got his stuff that I know that he wanted for his gym. Come on, he got his stuff set up. So it was kind of like, oh man, my rough day is trash now. Like, forget that. Like, we've been struggling like with this. Like, you got this. Like, you win, we win. So I'm cool. Like, forget what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying?
Like, for real, like he was like, "Ooh, man, I'm having rough right now." He was like, "It's rough right now." I was like, "All right," and like I was like, "I'm gonna let you have your moment." Cool. I was like, but I was like, hopefully this makes your day better. I was like,
you know it did because it was just like that. Like, nah, you know what, man, to hell with that. Like, we're not about to sit on like. Even for me, it was like we're not about to sit on me having like a momentary lapse when like my man's just got a dub. So like, look, I got something I can celebrate. Again, the saying, like you said, this too shall pass. Bad ain't gonna be there forever. Good ain't gonna be there forever. So quick moment of like, hey, I'm done with this, and then that's it. So nah, man, I on a physical neglect, man, like that's one thing I can say that I think we've all kind of meshed with together on this is we've physically have taken more intentional discipline to our daily lives on the physical matter. I'm to the point like now I don't even work out with headphones in. Like I'm just in a good space when I'm in the gym. Like I usually used to put something on and listen. Now I don't. I just actually over like the last 2 months I've just been kind of slowly not listening to stuff anymore. Like I used to listen to a lot of people that's kind of as I'm going through my day. Now like my headphones took a lot of downtime for me. I just take them out and I kind of just allow myself just to think about things. So like even not my mind has just been able to be at peace. Like that's it. So
Deuce head size has never changed since birth.
Is there any so that's what physical. So even you guys always know we always try to put a plan of action to things too. So like is there any physical goals that you have that we can be accountable for each other in making sure that not only on a personal individual level but corporately we can make sure none of us no longer neglect our physical at like whatever call it.
Oh, for me, by one of my goals right now is by the end of actually by July 21st to have the garage fully like cleaned out, set up, ready to actually start working in or working out of like, and I'm talking about like having because there's some little aesthetic things that I have to still do to the garage so that it can be viable for me to just actually have all my stuff in it, make it a truly enclosed space. But being able to like be diligent in getting those tasks done for it so that I can, really get the ball rolling with getting the floor mats in, the weight rack in, all of those things, so that I can be, working out with weights and actually like
Yeah.
getting workouts in, beneficial workouts in again, because
Mhm.
since I started trying to get the gym, I canceled my actual gym membership. And then once kids started school and stuff like that, like then I was just like, yo, I have the time to try to go to the gym, but at the same time, it's like, yo, I'd rather spend that time at the
Spending your
house.
time smarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd rather spend that time at the house. But now, get the garage up, get the equipment in for the gym, then I can work out at the house. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I can bring the
Yeah.
kids in with me to work out and do things. So
Bet.
by the end of
So July
July,
21st.
yeah,
July 21st.
yeah.
All right. So July 21st. I know you got a lot of things to handle with that, but that gets done by July 21st. We take shots on the show. Celebration time. No, not shots. Let's find a cool mixed drink off that I see they be making on TikTok, and let's have that for the show that day.
We
If it's
we
not
can
the
we can make
21st,
it together on show, and we can
yeah,
sing it
we'll make
together.
it, and then we'll hit it together. We'll do whatever. Oos, sorry, you got anything over the next, couple months? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, quarter physical discipline goals that you would like to attack. That you could use accountability. Hey, son.
So the heaviest I've ever been, 480. Heaviest I've ever been in my life, 480. Right now, I'm right at 4. Right and that's like over like the last maybe 5 months, 4 months. So for me, I want to be around 320 by Cream City.
Okay.
Be able to be
320 by Cream City.
By Cream City. I want to be at 320. That's like my.
You gotta go by
goal.
Thanksgiving.
350. I should be at 350 by Thanksgiving.
All right, we'll do 350 by Thanksgiving.
Because I mean, if I could drop damn near 100 pounds in 80, 90 pounds in a couple months, that's more than doable. And then just as far as just seeing myself getting stronger, I want to be able to press 4 plates 5 times. Want to be able to press 4 plates 5 times. I don't know if right now I'm at 3 comfortably. And I mean this is with all. I hate bench. Bench was the absolute worst thing. I
love bench press.
Hated it.
I share those same sentiments. So
I hate bench.
I love bench press.
Don't really rock with bench.
Hate it, bro.
But
So
I love bench press.
there's this OG that shout out to Ben Solo Beach. So there's OG that I work out with at the gym on bench days. He just told me, he was like, "Hey man, come lift with me. There ain't no egos. I'm just here to, I know you share with me that you hate bench, so I'm just here to help you get better." Bro, when I tell you I could get 2 plates up 5 times ugly, it was ugly. You know what I'm saying? So this was 3 months ago. Right now I can rep 2 plates 15 times easy.
That's what's up.
15, 18 times
That's
easy. So now it's continuing to work with him, bro. I see him. This dude's damn near 50 years old, pressing 4 plates 3 times like nothing. So like, just seeing what he's doing and seeing myself growing from that point, bro, it's so addicting. I can't tell you how addicting it is, man. Like, I just want to be able to press 4 plates 5 times. That's like to the moon goals right now. But and then get back
in 5 years, about to be competing for Mr. Olympia.
Strong, give me that strong man. And I want to get back to being able to squat 5 plates and rep it, man. I want to be able to squat 5 plates and rep it.
No.
That's all. Hopefully, I'm on pace to get that done by Cream City. That's where I'm gonna hold myself accountable to. Is by Cream City, I should be out at the gym pressing 4.
Gotcha.
Wake up and get that workout with me.
Oh yeah, I'm getting up with you. I don't know where you're running, but I'm gonna try to run with you.
Yeah, I was just running around.
That mess was wild. Yeah, that mess was wild, bro. That mess was absolutely wild. That stuff was so funny.
Hey, I told
for me, man.
Yeah,
he was up. This man was really up, man. And had the basketball in the neighbor's yard, bro. And had the basketball in the neighbor's yard, bro. Pissing me off. I was mad, bro. said, bro, go get the damn ball out the yard, bro. He said, I tried.
I tried.
Hey, yeah, that is hilarious, bro.
What you got, Vita, man? What you got?
For me, so I'll say I want to get down, which will be like 20 pounds, 250 by my anniversary, which will be November 7th, a couple weeks before Thanksgiving. So I'll just go ahead and make that there. Y'all got me the Bel Air 5s, and I still haven't worn them because I told y'all know how I am. I told y'all like so, but like I still got my Hornet shorts too that I haven't worn, but they go cold together. And I told my wife, I was like, "You want Hoochie Daddy shorts?" I said, "Nah, these is what the men wear to get the women's everywhere." And so like it was funny because like I showed her my outfit. I said, "This is supposed to be my Hoochie Daddy outfit." I said, "I'm gonna wear this on the beach for our anniversary," and then like all this happened. So I plan if I do 250 by my anniversary, which will be early November. That'll be one of the immediate goals there. Last week, I was able to actually get my first perfect week of going every day before work. Usually I'll find a way to like mess up one day. Like this morning, again with everything with like going on with my wife's sister, we've had to kind of make a couple adjustments throughout our day. So for me, if I don't go before work, I just can't go. So like even physically, like my body misses it, and mentally, my body like we want to get up tomorrow morning and make sure we finish out the week strong. So I definitely plan to go tomorrow and Friday to the gym, finish out the week strong, continue to go into it. So yeah, 250 by my anniversary is definitely the goal that I would aim for. 250 is the goal by my anniversary that we'll use. Yeah, so.
Cool.
So
we got some goals set.
So we got some goals set. On the lines of neglect. We'll go through holistically being better. Emotional neglect. Is there any holes emotionally that you're neglecting or that feel needs to be dealt with? She said big one, so you can go ahead.
I got a big one, man. And a lot of it just really comes down to I'm so numb because of the shit that I've been through that like it don't even feel like neglecting it anymore. It's more so just I look at it and I say that's normal now. Like legit.
Yeah.
So a couple months back, Serena asked me, she goes, "Why you watch such sad movies?" I'm just like, I watch sad movies so I could be sad for them because I'm just done being sad for myself. So I'm like, let me be sad for them. I can't sit here and be sad for myself no more. Like, I spent too many years being sad over the last 5 years, I want to say. I think as far as emotional neglect, I absolutely acknowledge there is a big hole there. It's probably like shaking a soda bottle and then when you open it, a mug explodes. That's how I've been over the last few months. Is I neglect it so much that it explodes at certain moments, and it's not ugly, but it's ugly when it does explode and when it does boil over.
Yeah.
Then there comes a moment of having to recover from that, having to talk about the relationships that were in compromise because of that, which are really just me and Serena. So I think that's why I look at her being able to kind of take that and understand, just deal with that, and understand that, and work with me through that. But I think that's one of the biggest holes that I have right now is when it comes to emotionally big hole there. Okay. When it comes to neglecting it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I had you said what is?
I said you can go next, V.
Emotional neglect. For me within this season, it's kind of been like a good emotional season for me. More so because like I've truly have accepted and adjusted more to who I am than anything. I'm always gonna expect the good out of people. I'm always gonna love people. I'm always gonna try to look out for the best for people. So like I've just accepted that truly is a part of just who I am. Like I want people to be loving and to feel loved and stuff like that. So like I've accepted that part of like, okay, the natural person in me is setting myself up to be disappointed in a lot of areas, but I'm also learning to like I said, like even with taking care of kids, like allow whoever doesn't accept love or allow whoever doesn't get it yet, just to allow them to have that part of life for themselves. Like I don't, as long as I know, because usually try to play the blame game. Hey man, usually try to play the blame game and the pity party and well, what could I do better or what did I did wrong or why didn't they receive this like that or why am I not getting my actions reciprocated in the amount that I am giving it out? And then you just start to be like, nah, I'm gonna be firm with who I am. When it comes time to communicate, I'm gonna be clear with who I am, and then that's it. Fine, you go then. Nothing exactly. Yeah. But like again, especially even with like the kids, I could see when I haven't dealt with things emotionally or filtered things out throughout the day before I get to them, I become short with them. And they'll catch more quick tempers. Like I had told my wife, me and her, we was talking, and I was just like expressed to her, usually something I would hold in, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna hold it in because I see it affecting me. I was like, hey, I kind of need certain things put in place because when I come home, I don't want to turn into dad with the heavy hammer because I need stuff done. Like I want to be able to walk home and be as excited to see the kids as they're excited to see me, and not have to be like, why is this? Why is this? Why is this? Why is this? Like I don't need to come home and then be like, oh, here comes the big bad bully of the house. Like I want to be able to walk home and to kick back and relax because I take my drive home as my time to filter myself out to make sure like, hey, when I get home, my kids get dad. They get the guy who wants to be there with them. So, but again, I give big kudos to my wife because definitely with these seasons, she's definitely adjusted, been more mindful and listening to me and the things we have. And we're finding a good sweet spot in this season for the things that we need from each other and the things that we can give and what we can't give also. So, uh, specifically, like going to the Denver trip is one of the things we're both like, hey, we got to grind it out, but we know we have a stopping point.
Mhm.
Like we set stopping point. Like we set stopping points this time. Before there was no stopping points. It was just like we just got to head down, head down, head down, head down, and go for it. Like now we know, hey, we'll go to Denver, and then when we go to Denver, whatever life is looking like is just not going to matter because we're going to need that pit stop for us. That's going to be an emotional, physical, or mental refresher.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where I'm on that end. What about you, Deuce?
I think that's where I get into like that self neglect again. For me emotionally, just I have a short fuse most of the time, just because like I'm always thinking of the next thing. I'm one of those type of people that like tries to find a solution or answer to every problem that comes my way when I don't need to. Like Vita said, I'm when I get to the crib, like I can see myself getting a little more antsy with the kids and stuff like that. Especially when it's just like little things, when they're just being kids. It's just one of those things that I try to catch myself with. So I think that comes from just me not necessarily ever really having to have emotional awareness, I guess. Because Vita can tell you, like when I was younger, if I got tapped out or whatever, I would just bounce. Like I wouldn't even be in the same area anymore. But you can't really do that with kids. Like they need you there, or with your wife and stuff like that. You can't really just um take the easy way out most of the time. You actually have to sit there and deal with that. So I would say for me over these last few months, last like 7-8 months, that's been something that I've been really trying to wrestle through and mull over, is just being able to be emotionally intelligent enough to be able to say, hey, I'm tapped out and this is why, and being able to actually just diligently express it to my wife so that she can then aid me in trying to find a solution of, all right, well, maybe you just need to do this a little more, or maybe you need to do that, or just don't do anything at all and just relax. Because I'll catch myself like being so wound up about everything, that in moments like for me and her, like we'll just try to find moments to where we can just go enjoy ourselves. And like I said earlier, it's just me trying to be able to love me, and give
Yeah,
myself that break. So like that's why I cling to so much to like playing rugby. It's because it's like on those Saturdays, especially when I don't have to have the kids with me, it's like, all right, I can just actually just kick back and
yeah,
be able to just enjoy it. Or I enjoy the Saturdays when my wife can come watch me play and or watch my team play or whatever without the kids being there. And then of course I love it when the kids are there because like that, like Vito's saying, like that's something that they're starting to aspire to. It's just like they see me doing that. They see how much joy I get with it, and just the guys that I'm
yeah,
playing with, they they love on the kids just like their own and stuff like that. Like they're always playing with them and
yeah,
talking to them, and so like the kids are really getting ingrained in that uh
yeah,
aspect of just being athletes or just being around other people all the time. So that's for me it's more so just I neglect myself, so I'll neglect myself emotionally, and then it'll start like spilling over into my relationships of me lashing out or me being
yeah,
short tempered and
See
quick
that?
to snap on my wife or my kids, or
I
I'll come off
definitely
passive
relate to
aggressive to my
that.
wife. Like I'll
yeah,
I'll start asking my wife like passive aggressive questions. It just like but it's not loving to her, and then now she's tight because I'm asking her passive aggressive questions, and I'm just
Yeah.
thinking about it like, damn, was I really being like that, or is it just that's just how it was coming out because I'm just flustered or
yeah,
something's
yeah,
a minor inconvenience to me, and it's just building up because
Yeah.
I've neglected myself for so long that it's just always just like, man, here we go again.
It's
It's the
tiring.
same old.
Yeah.
It's tiring.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Going to the
yeah.
chat on Facebook. Our podcasting counterparts behind the lava lava says, "I'm more of an action speak louder than words kind of guy. My wife has a difficult time getting me to express myself emotionally."
Yeah.
I vibe with you, dog. I vibe
Yeah.
with
Oh
you,
man,
100%.
no, no, no.
Because
And that's like we've seen people. Like, I see. So for those who haven't, like, who can express themselves like that, writing out your emotions first have always seemed to be a good way to kind of help filter that out, or a way that I found beneficial. So like, for example, let's say I have a frustration with my wife, right? Me and her are just at odds about an issue. What I would do is I would probably go on my note on my phone and I'll write down the date and how I feel. She sucked. I hate this woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like this lady at all. She don't never pay attention to me. Then I'll come back in 24 hours and I'll read it, see how I feel about it. Like, is my emotions, was that just something in the moment? Or is there something to this or behind this? And then,
Mm.
yeah, like, is there something to this or behind this? Or then I'll come back and look at it 2 weeks later, like, dang, what did happen on it? If I come back far enough down the line and be like, yo, what did happen on that day to make me feel like that? I'll be like, then the problem wasn't that big. Then the problem wasn't that big. I won't forget my OG. He had told me, I'm like, yo, she's always complaining about dishes, and I'm the one that's washing them. And he was like, yeah, you're gonna be arguing about dishes, for the rest of your marriage. So you might want to start to put your energy to some other things. And I was like, ah, dang, what I'm saying?
Dang.
So like, yeah, writing them out, like writing your emotions out, whatever they are, hardest to communicate. That seems to be a way. And I also heard
I
for
like
those
that.
who have struggles with emotional trauma, it always usually stems to something that happened in your childhood. So, for example, on my end, it took me the longest to actually feel like an adult around my aunts and uncles and my grandma. So, even when I graduated high school and even when I turned 21, I still never felt like an adult when I was in their presence. I always felt like a little kid. You know what I'm saying? So it kept that, like, that bond in that relationship, that when it finally started to, like, I finally started to kind of just express myself, be like, hey, I don't like this, I don't like that. Then it came like a realization for myself and for them, like, hey, we are your nieces and nephews and your kids, but we're not kids no more. And then it started to open the door of how they really went through life at that age, and then what we went through too, and how we could kind of have this meeting point of growing in our relationships. But yeah, man, writing your emotions out, man, physically
I like
writing
that.
them out and coming
I
back
like
to
that.
kind of check it out.
I'm
So
gonna
like
have to
you,
I'm gonna have to try that. I'm gonna have to
So
try that for sure.
how the way writing it out was broken down to me by one of my mentors out here. He was like, write it down, take 24 hours, come back and read how stupid you sound. Like for real, read how stupid you sound. Because like Vita said, write what you actually are feeling, your raw emotions.
Uncensored, unfiltered.
Like uncensored, unfiltered. Like just write down what you're actually legitimately feeling, and then come back and read it, and then again see how stupid you sound. Because if you do sound stupid, then all right, it's not that big of a deal. Like you might just be in your feelings or whatever.
In the moment,
but if you don't sound stupid, then you might actually have something a legitimate gripe or grievance to then think about again, write some more stuff about it, and then bring it to your spouse.
So I got a question for y'all. I got a question for y'all. I'm very big on the how, right? Very big on the how. We always know what the why is. We always know what the what is. Not necessarily the why, but we always know what the what is, right? We're really good at identifying problems and identifying issues, what they are. My biggest question to y'all is one thing I continue to hear from y'all weekly, which I appreciate that y'all share these things, is my mentor. You know, you guys have mentors. How does one go about looking for somebody that they can look up to as a mentor? Because for me, to Vita's point, when it comes to traumas that you're going through now and issues that you're going through now comes from childhood traumas and or childhood trusts that you've built throughout your childhood that are no longer that currently because of whatever happened. And I think that's for me where the challenge is when it comes to looking towards people that I can see as a mentor figure or as somebody like I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. A lot of the game that y'all spit, I look up at it as, all right, bet this is a moment that I'm taking from y'all as my mentors and taking and applying to my life. Yeah. But how does one go about finding somebody to look up to as a mentor intentionally and or just as a figure that you can consistently lean on and lean into for these things?
It's just so I'll take it. It's like what you found with the guy in the gym. You found something that you didn't like about you in the gym or something that you struggle with. You found somebody who was good in that area and they were like, hey, just come along for the ride. And that's what it's like. You find somebody you find somebody in life who is at where you want to be at and be like, hey man, can I roll? And be like, and usually the people who are like that are more than willing to open their door. But this is the thing about opening that door with these people. I told y'all, Pastor Barry and his wife, they're Deuce, though, that's one of our mentors, right? I've been chewed out by her too. Because again, when you open your life to somebody, you open your resources, you open your time, you open your physical, mental, and emotional being to say, hey, I'm doing this because I love you and I want to see you get to this point and to just fulfill your life, right?
That's what's sick of y'all.
So when you waste their time, it can be very easy for them to be like, you're wasting my time. Like one of the things they would do is like they open door policy, right? Hey, I'm about to come over. Can I come over? I've never heard no from them about coming over. Unless they literally had a meeting, right? Unless he's like, hey, now we got a church meeting. Like pull up, but you're gonna be sitting here doing this. So they never had a closed door meeting on anything for me. Specifically, Pastor Barry, like we had to go do stuff for church. He'd be like, hey, I have to go meet with this person on that, but I passed it by with them that you'll be rolling with me. So I need you here at this time. We're gonna do this. Your presence is accepted, but I just need you quiet in this moment, observing. Like, okay, cool. So I sit there learning, and after that, we sit back and we double back. He'll be like, hey, he does. His life is literally open. Like, hey, I'm gonna go eat. Come roll with me. Like, just go eat. Just having the presence of that person there. It was something for me specifically. Unfortunately, like I feel like for me, it's very specific and fortunate. I've always had somebody in my life like that. Like growing up, my dad was there, my uncle was there. I had like my older cousins who was there looking out for me. And I was able to take things from everybody's life, and they was able to imply to me things that then stayed with me. And then as you grow, as they grow, you grow and you start to get up there. And there's always that level of respect of like, you helped me get here. I'm always going to follow you up and this and that. So find somebody whose life is where you want to be at and just be like, hey man, and you'll be shocked at the amount of people who be like, yo, show up, you know, like, hey, just my door's open. Like my door's open, come through.
So for me, I look for someone who I can relate to. I look for someone who, like Vita said, is at a point in life where I possibly aspire to be at. I look for someone who is serious about being able to do what they do and do it over again, if that makes sense. Like someone who's diligent in being able to make that game plan. Like for me, I have a couple mentors in the Navy. Same thing. Like if I can hit them up about anything, saying, "Hey, this is what I'm going through," and then they'll give me like the uncut, unfiltered like response. Same thing with the Christian walk. Unlike Vita though, I didn't have a lot of mentors growing up. Like I had people in my life, like good men and stuff like that, but I never really looked up to any of them. Like as that's the guy who I want to, be. It wasn't until
I think
Vita.
most people like that find people who are like who always tell you maybe I'm wrong, but they be like, hey, don't be like me when you grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, don't be like me when you grow up.
Yeah.
So then I started to kind of fortunately be like, well, if I don't want to be like y'all when I grow up, maybe I need to go find who I do kind of want to be like when they grow up.
So for me, I wasn't able, like, I didn't start getting mentors or like finding men that like made the light bulb click on. It's like, oh, I want to be like that, like I see how he's acting or I see how that is, and that's something that I've been missing in my life. And like he said, Pastor Barry's been one of those dudes from Jump Street. Vita was my mentor all the way up until like my senior year in high school. Like he was one of my mentors. It's just like that's one of my big bros. Like that's one of the dudes who like I just was able to look up to, and like on the football field, him graduating obviously and stuff like that. And then I started taking on those relationships by myself, and like and honestly, like Vita said, like yo, just ask someone. Like find like because you obviously got eyes, you're an intelligent person, so you can see people around you doing something that you possibly want to get into, or possibly want to, emulate. So it's just like, yo, hey, can you show me how you got here? Can you show me how this happened? And then they'll either do one or two things: say no, I don't have the time, or yeah, I got you, and like, but be committed to that relationship. That's the biggest thing, and that's to the N word, like neglect. Like your mentor relationships are either gonna you're either gonna really prosper in them or you're gonna neglect them.
Yeah, you get out of it what you put into it.
Exactly.
So like I've had homies who took advantage of their mentors, and their mentors wasn't mentors. They used them as plugs to get somewhere. So instead of being locked in with somebody, they was like, oh, well, like for example, like one homie, like let's say somebody had aspiring to be music. Well, they will find somebody who's like a musician in church, be like, oh, well, you can help me do this because now it's benefiting me on like another level. Like, nah, you didn't care about the greater things. That's why this relationship failed. So like specifically for me, it was fortunate enough that like every man around was married, took care of their household, did not divorce, endured some damn problems during their marriage, but all of them stuck through it, was able to then guide with wisdom through that. So now I'm getting wisdom from what was 5 to now 10 to 20 guys who now amongst my peers who are men who are married, raising families, who go through problems in marriage, but don't have no plan on leaving, and all of this and that. You know what I'm saying? So these are the type of men who I keep myself around because these are the type of men that accept and align themselves with the same lifestyle that I have. Yeah. Now, if I wanted to go be a financial guru, I would go find somebody who got bread and who could do these things in certain levels. You know what I'm saying? And be like, hey, how can I come along this way, so forth, like that. Yeah. But then when I see how these other men function, be like, okay, well, there's a different limitation for me as a family to do things than you as a single, not single, bachelor type of guy who can move more freely. I don't have that type of freedom. I have more restrictions to my life that help me have to move a certain way. Yeah. But yeah, definitely just finding somebody who is in life where you want to be at.
I think that's what I'm starting to be able to pinpoint on me is as we continue to have these conversations, that we have continue to have these talks, is one of the hardest things for me to look at is what example am I looking at, right? Like if I think about the last 5-10 years of my life, I'm looking at like, what example did I really have? Like, and I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and be like, oh, I didn't have an example, so you know what I mean. But having to supplement that, I've gotten really good at finding a way to supplement that through other people unintentionally, looking at other situations and learning from other people. But I think, you know, the way y'all answered it definitely kind of gave me some insight on how to.
Yeah.
And it's always like I know how to approach that, but like I never thought it was so simple, right? Like you said, and like how you broke it down to homeboy at the gym. He's doing something that I identify as an opportunity. So being able to have that communication back and forth and be like, yo, can I rock with you? It's simple,
and that's like, it's simple. But the problem with that for a lot of people is the openness and vulnerability it takes to really get what you want.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people don't want to. A lot of people don't really want to be that open and that vulnerable. They want to share with you certain information. They want to like, if you are asking the right person to do the right thing for you, you should then be trusting that they're going to handle that. But we do have this. A lot of safe spaces have been, taken advantage of. So when people do reach out, then it's not, oh, you're being there for me. It starts to become used as an advantage or attack against them, a double-edged sword. We're like, well, I was open to you trying to find a way, and you let me down like this. Like it's crazy because every person who I've seen who's went under somebody to be like, hey, just being an older mentor presence in their life, the older person, when they're invested, they never let go of you. Even when you say screw them and you go on your way, they're always constantly thinking about them. I'm hoping they're doing well. Because again, you invest resources, time, emotional, mental for nothing for you, just for the well-being of somebody else. That takes a lot of vulnerability as a mentor to say, hey man, you ain't got to do nothing, just pull up. Like even when I like the little bros I like coach on the basketball team and stuff we did, like they all know, like they know I don't go out, so they don't ever invite me on none of that. But like I went to go hoop with one. He was like, bro, you don't go out. I was like, bro, I barbecue at the house. Like, but when I barbecue, you see me, say something, pull up. Like, let me know, and I'll have a plate for you, whatever. Like that's the type of like, but I'm not going out there. Y'all know I don't do that. But like you really have to have a type of vulnerability to be able to open yourself and be willing to receive whatever that person says. Because again, for some people, it's tough to have mentors as your family because they may view you as something, but it's also good to have brand new eyes into your life because they're seeing you from a different stage. Yeah. And some people can't let go of a stage in your life that you had, and they just refuse to let that go.
Honestly, I think that's the point of my life I'm in, right? Like I've always been somebody who's, and I say this with all humility, is I've always been somebody that's acted as that mentor for somebody, right? Yeah. And I intentionally do that for Jordan. I know he's my brother, but like our relationship is so different that I think he looks at me in this stage in life and been like, damn, you've been through a bunch, so I could continue to feed off that. And it's easy for me to be the mentor, but it's always been hard for me to find a mentor. Find somebody that I could lean into and be like, dope. And going back to what I talked about as far as supplementing that, I've been supplementing that from y'all. All of the game that y'all spit. I tell y'all this all the time. I take those things and I apply them to my life. Deuce has put a bunch of gems out there. You've put a bunch of gems out there. Even if it's sharing second-handedly from like you was talking about Barry or, Deuce's mentors. That's been something that I've had to take and find a way to supplement it for myself. So I'll definitely be taking that and finding how I can apply that to how I rock now.
Yeah. I'll say this too, that not all so people trying to get it twisted too. Like mentors have to be you're the younger person versus being the older person.
Yeah.
Like mentorship isn't necessarily just you have to be the young one.
Yeah.
And your mentor has to be older than you. It's something like we said, if someone is very skilled and versed in this specific area that you're trying to grow into, you'd be dumb not to listen to them, especially if they have success. Like that's just because, and it's funny you say that because I was the first out of me and Peter's our camp back home. I was the first person to get married, right? First person to get married, first person to start having kids. So he actually inadvertently started like looking at me. He was watching me now, like how I was moving, And like I remember hitting him up one time, like, yo, I don't know what to do, Vito. Like I feel like my walk is stagnant, blah blah blah. Right? And he was like, bro, I don't know. He was like, he legitimately like, dude, you've been married longer than me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess like right, like
Yeah. But hey, but the good thing we had at that
he was
moment
like, we
too,
all
but the
looking.
good
He was
thing we
like,
had
we
at that
looking at
moment,
you.
yeah. But and the good thing we had in that moment was like amongst our peers like that, Deuce was that. But we was very fortunate to have Barry, Leon, Sua, and other
Yeah.
men who were around us who had 5, 10, 15 years under their belt. So we could be like, hey, yeah, Deuce, I know you said this, but let me hit them up and see what they say too. Like, cool, bet. Like, let's go see what they say and how they feel about it. And then you go, and then you're like, hey, sometimes these, and then you get that wisdom from them. And again, sometimes you don't. And let's be honest, sometimes we ask questions and answers that we already know, like we really do. But we just need somebody to be like, hey man, I don't know. I'm just trying to rock through with you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
like,
and I mean,
like,
in complete vulnerability, that's why I came to y'all when it came to credit cards, and I ain't got no shame about it.
I knew with Deuce handling this credit, with you handling your credit, I'm just like, bro, my credit is butt. I need some advice. Let me throw this in the chat. I know that I'm gonna get this. And I mean, I look at y'all in certain aspects of my life as mentors in those moments, because when I need that game, I'm gonna come to y'all, right? Because we share very similar walks of life, although they are different. We understand where the needs are and how to fill those. The best mentor is experience and learning from other people's mistakes, and then that's how I've been supplementing. That's how I've been supplementing my life, right? Is learning from other people single-handedly.
And see, and that's like what mentors do. They be like, hey man, I messed up here, so I don't want you to mess up here. You know what I'm saying? Like they really do want to help you get a head start on life. They're like, I don't want you to make these mistakes. So let me help offer you some advice and some things that can be done so that you can skip that pain that I had to go through with that situation. So yeah, man, that really is like, and it says some things you just have to experience on your own. Some things life really does just have to teach you, and you can't skip that lesson. So yeah, I 100% agree with that. Let's finish it off with mental neglect.
A lot of free game here.
Yeah,
y'all.
mental neglect. Any mental neglect? And this is one thing. Here goes this guy. So let me bring this up. On mental neglect, one thing that I've learned to do in engaging myself mentally is also remind myself that what I think isn't the only right way to think. It isn't the end all be all. It isn't the end all be all. So I usually when I wake up, Ezra, come on, man.
He agrees.
So like usually when I wake up now, it's like I told you I've been going to the gym. I don't listen to nothing because now I'm kind of like filtering through a lot of thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Some are going, some are staying. I'm filtering through some thoughts. Then I'll go read something. Like I have my devotional that I'll read every morning, same time right before I start my shift. Then that's able to sit with me in my mind as I go through this first part of my job. Then when I'm done with that, usually my OG pulls up. We talk sports, a little bit of life, whatever that we got, and then that's it, right? Then from there, I have the rest of the day. Usually what I do at that point is I try to listen to something that both. So let's go to like the abortion topic, right? I will listen to somebody's stance that I know that I agree with, and then I will listen to somebody's stance that I don't agree with. And then I would try to allow both of what those people said begin to work in my mind. I'm like, hey, how do I feel about this? Not being defensive, but let me open myself to mentally hearing from other people and where their minds are at and starting to engage. So like even when we talk about sports analysts, every now and then I'll be like, well, let me listen to what they're saying just so I can make sure like I'm not also putting them in a box. Because again, iron sharpens iron. People think differently. There's people who you will disagree with a lot on, but maybe you acknowledge their knowledge and wisdom on the situation. So like, how do y'all go about sharpening mental aspects of your life?
Oh, I've definitely
No.
in a sense neglected that. Not necessarily intentionally, but like I just don't. Me personally, I don't like reading too much, so that's something that I've been very aware of lately. Is just probably starting to try to just read more books, more things like that, just to start getting back into sharpening that comprehension of other things a little bit more. And then like Vita was saying about just having conversations with people or just hearing out other people's viewpoints. one of the biggest, that's actually a character trait of leadership, is being able to listen. General Mattis used to be the Secretary of Defense for the country and stuff like that. He actually came, and I had the privilege to be able to like listen to him talk and stuff like that. And he was like, one of his leader characteristics is being able to listen to the people. So he was saying when people are when you need to listen to be influenced, not to reply. So listen to being influenced instead of to reply, because when you're listening to reply, then you're just not even paying attention or trying to take in what they're talking about. So listen to be influenced, persuaded, however you want to break it down so that you understand. Like, yo, listen to understand and take in what everything that they're saying without a reply. Like, let them say, let their word be their word, you know. Like, let it be the truth in a sense, even if it's contradictory to your truth.
Yeah, their truth.
And then that way you can be able to actually understand from a different point of view, perspective, all that good stuff. So that's one thing that I really started like trying to take in, is just like listen to be influenced, listen to be persuaded, instead of listening to reply to everything. Because once you do that, mentally you'll start becoming a lot more astute and just being able to like, all right, you can wade through all the nonsense of the world and all the nonsense of just like people, and then you'll be able to like cut through all of that and actually glean the stuff that you need to continue to be successful or find a good mentor, right? Like, because there's a lot of like mental gurus and fitness gurus or all that stuff, right, that are around, but a lot of the times they just say a whole bunch of fluff. Just people who aren't listening or who are easily swayed, like they'll just like buy it as gospel instead of just being able to listen to what actually is being said and whether or not they need to dedicate time to actually engaging in it. So I think that's one thing that mentally that I've neglected, is just like comprehension of being able to just listen to being persuaded, or reading something to be persuaded, instead of reading it with the lens that I've always had to apply.
That makes sense. From my mental, I think that's something I've been hyper aware of over the last 5 years, and I can confidently say this is probably one of the things that I'm confident in speaking to for myself is really just understanding. I think what I had to do first is understanding how my mental works, why it works the way it does. To Vita's point, acknowledging those things that have traumatized me throughout the last few years, right? That was the first thing, first and foremost. And now how I'm handling that today is I understand that my mental works in a certain way to where if I'm not pouring out the stuff that I don't need in the moment, because we all have phases of our days where we need certain parts of our mental cup, and we need to either use it in that moment because it's not something we need. Like your work mental is not what you need at home. You don't need that there. So I've had to find a way to pour out my work mental to prepare myself for home. So the way I do that is exhausting myself at the gym. This is another reason why I fell in love with the gym, is because when I'm done, when I'm at my work mental from 5 a.m. to 3 p.m., I still have some left. When I'm clocking out for the day, I still have some left. So I got to get in, when I get to the gym, that's my moment to say, I got to empty all of this. I got to find a way, exhaust my physical so that my mental could also find a way to be exhausted. What up, Smalls?
What up, Smalls?
And find a way to pour out that mental cup of work, refill it while I'm at the gym, refill it with, all right, I got to go home. I got to be a husband. I got to be, I got to be a dad. I got to be an influence for and a provider for these people at home. So getting home, and then while I'm here, just being super intentional about everything I do. I know the little man always watches me on the game, so I'm starting to limit the times I'm actually on the game. I'm always going to play during work because I'm sitting here at a couple screens, so I'm going to get some in. But like Monday, actually Tuesday, Wednesday, you probably won't ever see me on the game after these shows because I'm just kicking back. Even if it's just watching them play the game, I'm showing him that you're watching me, so I'm gonna watch you. I'm gonna watch y'all play. I'm gonna watch my show while you're playing so that you can see something different. And really just take my attention with my mental and put it somewhere that actually has value. Right? I think that's how I'm trying to sharpen it. I mean, I have goals that I've set that I want to accomplish over the next few weeks and months as far as strengthening my mental and my relationship. So this is something that I've learned about myself. The relationships that I have is we all have physical relationships. We all have emotional relationships, but we don't ever feed the mental relationships that we have with other people's mentalities. The mental between myself, my son, and my wife. And finding a way to feed that relationship just as much as I'm feeding the physical and the emotional.
Yeah.
So I'm still learning kind of the ins and outs of that and how to navigate through that. But yeah, I just got to tire myself out physically, pour out that mental cup of one phase of the day and refill it with something else for the next phase of the day.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. The mental, emotional, and physical, man. Glad we're able to have the conversation around neglect, man, and awareness, man. Knowing where we've short at, also knowing that putting the steps in place to make the progress to be better at that, man. Again, I firmly believe being men and leaders just of our household and our families, period. Again, it starts from us, and we're able to, again, heal some trauma generationally and help to leave healthier paths for the next generation, man. So, y'all, on cultural cuss words, unless y'all got anything else to say on that, man, it's been a journey getting through all of this, y'all. I know we've been absolutely deep with this. I know we, had fun with the brackets and stuff. So we're going to get back to that. We are going to get back to the brackets and all of that, man. We just, again, in a season where we were seeing a lot of things, we just kind of wanted to open forum, discuss accountability and neglect and, differences and everything that we brought up. So it's on there if y'all want to go back and take some of those. Hear us on there, bring some challenges about that. So next time we have to talk about these things, we can all learn from each other there. Again, we're not here to teach. This is just open for us to iron sharpen irons and to be here for each other, man. Overall, man, y'all finishing thoughts on the cultural cuss word series?
Nope. To make it more convenient for y'all, I'm not just going to keep these in the playlist. I'm also going to make a separate playlist for culture cuss words. It's easier, accessible for y'all if y'all want to get straight to those episodes. I will put these in a different playlist for y'all so y'all can see those there. But
got you.
Lots of good stuff, man. Lots of good gems that have been dropped throughout these episodes of cultural cuss words. I myself have taken a lot to apply to my life and just hold myself accountable. So I appreciate y'all for sure.
All right, so hey y'all, somebody got to give us a bracket, man. Give us a topic, movies, music, whatever. We need a bracket. We got to start to loosen up a little bit, get the vibes back going. Said we know we done had our big stern. We've been deeper for a while, so it's time to ease up, man. So we got movies, music, food. So let us know if you have a bracket that you want us to take on, man. We are gonna take it on. We are gonna go ahead first and hop back into that life, man, and kind of lighten up on that. Remember, last Wednesday of every month is open tables. So if you have something you want us to talk about then, or you want to share or send an article, shoot it to us, man. Again, we're open here. We want to hear things and see things and go about it, man. But I'm good there, y'all. But y'all got any final thoughts, man?
No, sir.
Appreciate it. Love y'all. Love the viewers. Love the chat.
Thank y'all for tapping in, being with us. Said Ezra screaming at me. Screaming's on Fortnite, man. It's time to go.
It's all love, y'all. I'm Soy. That's Vita. That's Deuce. We'll catch y'all next week. TT Talks.
Big love. Big
Yeah.
vibe.